John Elway walked into his first NFL game in 1983 feeling like the king of the world. He was the #1 draft pick, Golden Boy quarterback who just signed the biggest rookie deal ever. Then he saw Jack Lambert warming up across the field. This dude had no front teeth. The linebacker was slobbering all over himself while staring right at Elway. The future Super Bowl MVP later said, "I'm thinking you can have your money back. Just get me out of there. Let me go be an accountant. I can't tell you how badly I wanted out of there." The toothless linebacker scared men into career changes. And you need to hear how the game ended for Elway. Jack wasn't born mean. That scary look came from a basketball court in high school. During practice at Crestwood High, he crashed headfirst into his teammate Steve Poling. The hit knocked out his 4 front teeth instantly. His mom, Joy, said he was so embarrassed about losing his fake teeth while swimming. He stayed home from school. The boy wouldn't go back until the dentist made new ones. But losing those teeth gave him the most intimidating look in football history. Without his dentures, he looked like Dracula in Cleats, and he used that look like a weapon. The Steelers drafted this 6'4", 204-pound farm boy out of Kent State in '74. This dude was so skinny that teammates joked he needed to eat more. But summers working on his grandfather's farm had made him stronger than he looked. That farm boy would get unhinged once he put on a football uniform. The linebacker told reporters, "I'm very mean and very physical on the field. I guess I'm just plain mean." Teammates called him Jack Splat because all he wanted to do was splat QBs. But everything changed once Jack Lambert got to Pittsburgh. During his rookie year, the Steelers took a chance on him when he replaced injured middle linebacker Henry Davis. The kid became a central figure on a great defense that won their first Super Bowl by beating the Minnesota Vikings 16-6 in Super Bowl IX. He won Defensive Rookie of the Year and led the team in tackles.
The Roman numeral classic known as Super Bowl X was to be witnessed not only by the 80,187 in the Orange Bowl, but well over 80 million TV viewers.
The moment that truly defined his career happened the following season in Super Bowl X against the Cowboys. The Steelers were losing 10-7. Kicker Roy Gorella missed his second field goal of the game. Dallas safety Cliff Harris walked over and patted Gorella on the helmet like he was a little kid. Big mistake. Madman Lambert saw this and lost it. He grabbed Harris and body slammed him into the turf so hard the stadium went dead silent. The refs didn't even throw a flag. They were probably too shocked.
I think the message sent was thunderous. No one's going to intimidate any of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And if you don't understand that, we're going to show you that. It helped further define what Pittsburgh Steeler football, Jack Lambert, is all about.
When reporters asked him about it after the game, he told them, "We're the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're supposed to be the intimidators." That moment changed the entire game. Pittsburgh scored the next 14 points and won their second Super Bowl. Franco Harris said later, "Lambert handled that in the right way. He handled that in the Pittsburgh way."
And there is Elway. He'll be going up against Jack Lambert and company. Lambert, one of the links to the 4 Super Bowl teams, back for another season at linebacker.
In 1978, Lambert helped lead a dominant defense as Pittsburgh became the first franchise to win 3 Super Bowl titles. The Steel Curtain allowed just 12.2 points per game and forced 3 turnovers per game. Quarterbacks were scared of him. Just ask Elway. When the NFL started adding more rules to protect QBs, Jack said,
"Well, it might be a good idea to put dresses on all of them. That might help a little bit. I got called last week for a late hit on Brian Sipe, and in my opinion, it wasn't a late hit."
One QB he couldn't stand was Brian Sipe. He hit the Browns quarterback so hard that he got ejected and fined multiple times. After one hit, he had to explain himself to Commissioner Pete Rozelle. When asked if he hit Sipe too hard, Lambert's response, "I hit him as hard as I could." Remember that John Elway story from the start? He used scaring people to play mind games. Elway went 1 for 8 that day with 14 yards and 1 pick. The Golden Boy got sacked 4 times. The #1 draft pick looked like he'd never played before. Lambert had broken him mentally before the game even started. Years later, Elway admitted that game was the worst of his career. What made Dracula and Cleats so dangerous wasn't just his hitting, it was how smart he was. The guy had perfect grades in college and was basically a genius. This guy could read offenses like he was reading a comic book. He would call out plays before they happened, then destroy whoever was unlucky enough to be carrying the ball. The linebacker made all the defensive calls, sometimes changing the sets 4 or 5 times before the snap. This dude averaged 146 tackles per season and only missed 6 games in his first 10 years. The 1976 season showed his leadership when things got ugly. The defending champion Pittsburgh started 1-4 after Terry Bradshaw got hurt. Lambert called a players-only meeting. He told his teammates in no uncertain words they needed to win every single remaining contest to make the playoffs and defend their title. The Steel Curtain defense allowed only 2 touchdowns and 28 total points in their final 9 contests. They shut out 5 opponents completely. Pittsburgh won all 9 and finished 10-4. He was named NFL Defensive Player of the Year. However, their championship dreams ended when they fell short to the Raiders in the AFC Championship game. He wasn't just mean to opponents. Even his own equipment manager learned not to cross Lambert. When the guy accidentally gave his number 58 to someone else for a photo shoot, Lambert went crazy. The linebacker had to be separated from the equipment manager by teammates. But away from football, Lambert was different. The guy was actually pretty thoughtful. He told Sports Illustrated, "I read about athletes who say having an impact on kids is overrated. We have a responsibility. If I can keep one kid from doing drugs, I've done something good." The same player who terrorized quarterbacks really cared about being a good role model. Something amazing about his career is that he was part of the greatest draft class in NFL history. Pittsburgh drafted Lambert, Lynn Swann, John Stallworth, and Mike Webster all in 1974. 4 Hall of Famers in one draft who became the core of a dynasty. Together, they helped Pittsburgh win 4 Super Bowls in 6 years. In 72 and 73, the Steelers were respectable, but this 1974 draft class made them famous. Jack Lambert was the guy who set the tone and made sure nobody messed with his teammates. He retired after the 1984 season and was done with football. No comebacks, no coaching offers, no TV analyst jobs, nothing. The farm boy moved back to the farm in Worthington, Pennsylvania with his wife Lisa and basically disappeared from public life. The same guy who'd been the most recognizable face in the NFL just vanished. The linebacker didn't want anything to do with the spotlight anymore. He'd given everything he had to football for 11 seasons. During his Hall of Fame speech in 1990, he got emotional. Jack Lambert said something that still gives Pittsburgh fans chills.
"If I could start my life all over again, I would be a professional football player, and you damn well better believe I'd be a Pittsburgh Steeler."
That was Jack Lambert, a skinny farm boy with no front teeth who became the most feared man in football. The guy who could scare the entire NFL just by smiling.